Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you out there, wherever you are around the world and across the country. Here we are. It's Thursday. It's now 8 p.m. on the East Coast. It's 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m. and Friday morning in Tokyo, Japan at 10 a.m. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and we are coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate. And we're going to be here, as I said, for a whole full hour, and we have a lot to talk about. And those of you who are just joining us for the first time, we thank you so much for being along with us. And let me show you or tell you how the show operates in case you're here just for the first time. Now, of course, I start the show, right? And I just, as the host, just open up the way I do and start things rolling, get up a topic. And in between all of that, at any time you want, you could say hello, just type there. I'll see you right there on the big screen. And you could create your own conversation. Let me know what you want to talk about. We will definitely indulge you and make more action to the show. And so that's how the show operates. And we hope, by the way, if you're here for the very first time, that you won't make it your last time. Now, we're on 3 different sources right now as we speak. We're live on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and live on Instagram as well. So you can pick any one of those entities and make it your own if you so desire. Because wherever you go around the world, it does not matter. We're global. We're all around the world. So you can catch us anywhere around the world. Tell your friends about it. As a matter of fact, those of you who are watching us on Facebook right now, take the opportunity right now to take the show and tag it to some of your friends. Now, I know a lot of you have friends on Facebook. Maybe you have selective friends that you want to send the show out to. Even if you don't know them, send it out anyway, because the more the merrier. And we'll have a good time together. They'll see that information right there, that notification. They'll see it's from you. They'll click onto it and it'll bring them directly here to us. So, and who knows, maybe if they like what they see, like what they hear, and they become full-fledged members just like you. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, we encourage you to go to our YouTube channel if you're there right now, and do it right now. As a matter of fact, all you have to do is subscribe to it. Now, when you subscribe to it, that gives you the opportunity to know when we come on live or when we post a video or a photo or anything like that. It will give you notification providing you're online, and then you can come directly right to us. So we're all here together. And of course, if you're watching us on Instagram, which I hope you are too, we just want to say hi to you guys. Keep on following us. Tell your family and friends about us and make them part of the action. And everybody's going to be happy. We have so many things to talk about today. It's been a busy day, a real busy day, and we're going to try to get as much material on as possible. Now, in conjunction with having you guys along with us, you know, talking to us and interacting, we do our special thing that we do each week. And I'm referring to sports. Now, that's coming up in about a few minutes from now. We're going to go and we link ourselves each week to Charlotte, North Carolina, because that's where Brian Camp is. Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. He'll be here for that. And of course, he's going to tell us a lot of things and a lot of great activities in sports. March Madness and everything else. Baseball, it's all coming back. And he'll be here for that. So we'll let him talk to you about that. And that's just a few minutes from now, not too far away. So stay tuned for that. And later on in the program, we're going to have This Day in History. We have information and events that happened this day in history. We have that for you. And before the show is all over, of course, I do each week is I bring you the picks of the week. All of my picks of the week as far as your movies are concerned. Now, a lot of you like those classic movies. From Turner Classic Movies, I make my own picks. And I deliver them to you because you may want to do something other than the normal in the movie. Maybe you're in your area, you may have inclement weather this weekend, which is a good time to catch up on a lot of movies. So I just want to add to some of those movies to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. All of that's coming up right here, and it's right here on Talk Back Live. And remember that all of the views and the opinions discussed on this show, Talk Back Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. And so there we are once again. Tell your friends about it. We'll be right here for you. And yeah, it's been a long day. And if you've been watching the news, I've been watching the news all day. All day. It's been a long day. And we're going to be talking about some of those issues. Of course, we're not going to get with everything news. We're just going to have a little fun together. And again, you can be part of the action too by talking to us, by saying hi, even if you just want to say hi. That's all you want to do, because a lot of people, when they watch the show, they just want to watch it and they don't want to be part of the action as far as talking. But that's okay too. As long as you're out there, as long as you want to do that, it's okay. It's okay. And we'll do that. We'll talk to you, you talk to us, and then you see some friends that are coming along, you want to talk to them, and we're all here for you. It's all here. It's all ready and set and ready to go. So we thank you so much again for being with us. Well, you know, summer is on its way. Summer is on its way. How do you like that? Yeah, everything is taking shape for the summer months, and people are getting ready to get set for the summer. And oh boy, everybody just can't wait to see what's happening for the summer. So we've got all of that coming along. Now, we also are in the midst of Women's History Month. Now, Wednesday, they celebrated National Women's Day. That was Wednesday. But listen, maybe a lot of you didn't know. Okay, in conjunction with that National Women's Day, which occurred Wednesday, everything happens this month. The whole thing is national. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday for the national, but for the whole month, we're celebrating Women's History Month. And of course, women made a lot of big contributions to what's happening today in the world, and big contributions, things that you would never expect. But it's a new world. Women are doing a lot of things that they couldn't do before. They're working on jobs where jobs used to be men's jobs. They used to call it's a man's job. You know, we bring home the bread. That's no longer happening. That's no longer happening. They're working in constructions, they're driving buses and subways, and they're big entrepreneurs. They own their own businesses, and they're just making a lot of great things, doing a lot of great things. And so that's why we celebrate the Women's History Month, all the month of March. It's happening. And so we'll be celebrating all of that. That's coming right along. And we thank you again for being with us. And also, you know what else is going on? I have to mention this too. This is World Kidney Day. Yeah, it is. I checked it out for myself. I couldn't believe it. It's World Kidney Day. Now, those of you who made accepted kidneys or had kidney transplant, or maybe you donated, this is the day for it, and people are talking about it. It's National World Kidney Day. So there's something that to add. There's so many things that we're celebrating, and coming not too far away. And as a matter of fact, next Friday, is going to be St. Patrick's Day. Would you believe that? Next Friday is St. Patrick's Day. And so we'll be talking more about that too. A lot of things. We're celebrating a lot of things. So many things are happening. Now, I just want to let you guys know that coming up this weekend, and get prepared for this, because I want to make sure that you know about it. This weekend, we go back to daylight savings time. We go back to daylight savings times, which means you have to set your clock up an hour. You always remember it's always spring up, and spring is coming up. So spring up. And when we go back to fall, it's fall back. For this time around, it's daylight savings time, which means summer will be back. The times when you wake up in the morning, there are more daylight than it is. The days are longer, the nights are shorter. You know, so all of that is coming up. So, so remember, at 2 a.m. Sunday, You can even do it early. You can do like I do on Saturday afternoon, set your clock so you don't have to worry about it. But the official time is Sunday at 2 a.m. Set your clock back 1 hour forward. Now, let me add something to this that you don't really have to worry about just yet, because daylight savings time is going to last until November 5th. And just a little tidbit for you, in case you didn't know about it. When we come around to November 5th, that means the clocks are going back. So that puts us back into a standard time, right? The clocks go back 1 hour. Now, here's the deal. We always say back 2 a.m., everything 2 a.m. Not this time around. When we go back an hour, come November 5th, 2023, we go back an hour, but we do it at 1 a.m. as opposed to 2 a.m. 1 a.m., we're going to be doing that. Why? Because now they say, well, you know, we need a little more daylight at the end of the day. So when people come home from work at 5 o'clock, it still be a little daylight out there. So that's how they're going to do it. Now, I don't know how long that's going to last. I don't know if it's just that for that year, temporarily, or I don't know. Maybe it's for indefinite period of time. I don't know. But I do know when it comes around to that time, we set the clock back an hour, but we do it at 1 a.m. instead. All right. But you don't have to worry about that now. You don't have to worry about that now because because we're concentrating on daylight savings time this Sunday. Again, that's this Sunday at 2 a.m. Daylight savings time. Can't wait. Baseball, hot dogs, football. Well, not football, but you know, all these summertime things are coming back. And as I said, the days are longer and the nights are shorter. So we look forward to all of that. I'll remind you more about that a little later on. We want to take the time out because, like I said, it's been a busy day, especially, and I just want to take the time out to say to all of you, let's keep our prayers open and elevate them to the heavens, right? Elevate them for Senator Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. You heard about this story. Took a fall Wednesday night. He was doing a speech in Washington at his hotel. Now, I don't know if it was in his hotel room when he took the fall or somewhere in the vicinity or whatever it is, but I do know that he did a speech. He made a speech and everyone said it was a good speech and, you know, it was coherent and everything was, it was good, but he took that fall. He's in the hospital. He wound up in the hospital. He's suffering a concussion right now. And so they're going to keep him in the hospital for a few days for observation and treatment. So we want to, and he's 81 years old. Mitch McConnell is 81 years old. I don't know how he felt, you know, what, they don't know whether he tripped or whatever it was. I guess when the news comes around, they'll add more to the mix and you'll find out more about it. But in the meantime, we know that he's in the hospital and we want to send our prayers up to him, pray for him hard. And let's hopefully, Mr. McConnell, hopefully you'll come out of this and you'll be back at work no time and sometime pretty soon. But at the meantime, it's going to be like a few days before he comes out of the hospital. It's better now for the observation and the treatment so he can get back to work. We're praying for him on that. Also, in the celebrity, well, I don't like to use the word celebrity because I don't look at anyone as a celebrity. Celebrity means it's a form of celebration. I don't celebrate people, but just in case you are, you know, you want to use that word, that's fine. But anyway, I'll just put it this way, in show business, in our show business field, Tom Sizemore, an actor known for his work in the films like Saving Private Ryan, Natural Born Killer, and Heat. Well, he died last Friday. Now, this actor was hospitalized after suffering a brain he suffered a brain, how do you pronounce that word? Aneurysm. Yeah, that's it. So a brain aneurysm, right? And Sizemore passed away peacefully in his sleep, they say. And he passed away at St. Joseph Medical Center in Burbank, California, with his two sons around him and his brother, Paul Sizemore. And he was 61 years old. In this day and age, that's a young age. 61 years old, that's a young age in this day and age. So we send all of our prayers and our thoughts to him and his family and all of the people who worked with him, and we just want to send them up and send them up. Rest in peace. Okay, you also heard about that. I mean, the beat goes on. Southwest Airlines. You already know about Southwest Airline, right? Southwest Airline. You know, they had another thing going. I tell you what we'll do. We'll talk about Southwest Airline when we come back. How about that? We'll talk about that later. We'll do that later, because right now we want to keep things rolling. And I want to go over, because it's time for sports right now. And Brian Camp is along with us with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And it's on Sports Update. Brian, you know something? I just said to the audience that we change our times. We go back to daylight savings time. That means we push our clocks back an hour. We get more light than day. The days are longer, the nights are shorter. And that reminds me of baseball. I mean, I'm so excited about baseball. I'm watching reruns on the TV, just to gear. I guess that's my warm-up practice. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you could say being desperate or warm-up, just like what you say. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Also, Cham Temple passed away from Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh,
yeah, and
that information.
Yeah, I think he died today. Yeah, and so ironically, this is for the weekend. There's a lot of musicals coming on, and his movie, as he's known for, will be on this weekend. I'll let you take care of that. But yeah, because I know you mentioned about Sizemore, what's his name? Tom Sizemore?
Yeah.
I watched his movies a lot. Yeah, he passed away too, as well. As a lot of Hollywood passing, actors and actresses, and our prayers go to his family as well too. So
news been coming left and right. It's been a busy day in news. God,
it has. Yeah, it has.
I don't know if I'm going to get any sleep tonight. Stay up all night watching news as it comes in. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just nonstop. Yeah, it's just nonstop. But But good evening to you and everybody out there listening to on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and wherever else that you are watching. It is 64 degrees out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's mild. It's very mild for this time of the year, and the high today was around 65 degrees. So it's 57. I beg your pardon. 57 degrees now. The high today was 64, 65 degrees. It was cloudy. So, wait to see what's going to happen on tomorrow. We supposed to have a wet Saturday, Friday and Saturday, but let's see what happens. But in sports, in the NBA, you probably want to know what happened with this thing with the Memphis Grizzlies player Ja Morant. Well, police in Colorado investigated the actions from last weekend. It was a game that he was playing. His team is the Memphis Grizzlies, and this was happened in Denver, Colorado, where they played the Nuggets. He was shown posted a live video on Instagram in which he displayed what appeared to be a gun while in a nightclub. Now, Denver is known for their strip clubs and shopping centers. The NBA rules prohibits a player from possessing a firearm while on team property or traveling on team business, which means during the games. But for now, Morant is away from the team. The NBA conducts an investigation. Since then, they did have an investigation. They cleared him, but the team is not ready to have him back yet. So that's where we are at right now. So got to be careful. Players, when they make that kind of money, they think they're invincible. So, let's be aware. In the NCAA, Texas Tech has suspended their men's coach, but he early this week. But then today he resigned for making another inappropriate statement that was racial. It was an inappropriate, acceptable, and racial insensitive comment. According to the school, Adams was encouraged encouraging a player to be more receptive to coaching, reference to the Bible verses about workers, teachers, parents, and slaves. So that was the killer. And so now he's decided he's going to step down. When you make statements like that, this is what happens. Got to be careful with your choice of words. Patrick Ewing just came in just a little while ago from Georgetown University, has been let go by the school. His record, he has not been doing well. You know, when you are a college coach in basketball, football, whatever, baseball, or any sport, you got to learn how to recruit. If you want great players, you got to recruit. Apparently, he has not been doing that. So this is what happens. He is now out of Georgetown. And Jim Boeheim, 47 years at Syracuse University, has also stepped down. But in a weird news conference, he was saying that he's not sure. It sounds like he wants to stay, but the school is telling him, you did 47 years, it's time to go. So that's what's been happening. So, he's the second all-time leading winningest college coach in college basketball. This day in sports, March 9th, 1897, the Cleveland Indians fans start calling the team the Indians in 1950. They started it, but it became official in 1915. In that same year, 1897, the Cleveland Spiders signed Louise Sakalik's full-blooded Penobscot. That's an Indian name. That's a native Indian name, Native American. I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I was practicing it, and I just can't get the hang of it. But he is believed to be the first Native American to ever play in Major League Baseball, and that was in 1897. I wasn't around then. Neither was any of us that's on now. So in 1936, Babe Ruth turns down the Cincinnati Reds to make a comeback as a player. 1946, Ted Williams is offered $500,000 to play in the Mexican League, but he refuses to do that. 1979, Major League Commissioner Bowie Kuhn orders baseball to give equal access to female reporters. Yes, 1979. Birthdays, today, 1942, Bert Campy Campanaris. How I like his name. I follow this man's career because his first four letters of his name is Camp. So, and Bert Campanaris is a guy I always liked him. He played for the Oakland A's, and he was born in Pueblo Nueva, Cuba. Yes, Bert Campy Campanaris. 1965, Benito Santiago, Major League catcher, was born in Ponce, Puerto Rico. And in 1969, Muammar Abdul Rauf, formerly known as Chris Jackson, was born in Gulfport, Mississippi. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports. But I like to say this is International Women Week, a month. Yep. And I have to say that during the sportscast of basketball, they had all sorts of women pioneers who was doing the broadcasts of games. And they had two women. They had a woman announcer and a woman commentator doing games. They do that for the WNBA, and they do that as well for women's college basketball. But they've been doing it for the men's as well. And, there's so many great women that's graced this country and has given us the news and the sports, and we salute you. I salute you with two hands. God bless you. And now you're coming in.
If I had a third hand, I salute. If I could put my feet up, I salute with my feet as well. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yes. Yes.
And I mentioned and all month long. Wednesday they celebrated International Women's Day. But
Women's Day.
Yeah, but it all intertwines. So all of this month we celebrate them and salute them. And I say this, I said this last week. Sometimes it takes a woman to make a good man. And
so I
want to thank my mother.
Our mother, yes.
That's
Our
right,
mother.
our mother. Yes,
Yes.
indeed, you know.
That's right. Right. She was a trailblazer. Hey, I think it's time that we do this. Yeah, you know what? Yes, I'm gonna take a little time out to salute my mother.
Yeah,
She was a trailblazer, she
yeah.
was a pioneer.
Yep.
But the thing I loved about my mother, I only had her in my life for 24 years. But the best way to describe my mother, our mother, was she sacrificed.
Mhm.
That's the best way to describe her. She made a lot of sacrifice where she could have done, more for herself, but she sacrificed for her sons. And I salute our mother today. God bless her.
Didn't have a teenage life.
Didn't have a teenage life. Yes. Yes. But we thank God for her. She
Yep.
was here put on earth for a reason.
Yep.
And, even though it was short lived, um, she left us at 52 years of age. But you know what? She was the greatest.
So I always put that in the mix. All this month, I will put that in the mix. Put her in the mix all this month long.
Absolutely.
So when do we hear from our beloved baseball teams? When are they going to start spring training? So we can.
Well, they started spring training. I don't like to report spring training or exhibition games because basically what they're doing, they do the split squad where the Yankees will play 2 games in one day. They'll split up the squad. One will be on one side of Florida, the other team and the other Yankee team will be on the other side of Florida. This is their way of trying to get everybody tuned in and geared up for opening day. But so it's really nothing to report. No signings. It's just that they're just trying to get all the cobwebs out the way, and they're ready to get ready to start playing at the end of the month, early April. Yeah.
Well, we'll be waiting for them. Go Yankees. Go Yankees.
Go Yankees.
We'll be waiting for them. Hey, listen, before you go, I want to pay homage to a brave man. And he played for the Minnesota Vikings. KJ Osborne. He's a wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, my team.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard the story this week, this week, a couple of days ago. It was reported that him and 3 other men rescued a man out of a burning car.
Yes, I did hear that. Yes.
Austin, Texas. So I just, I love those Minnesota Vikings, and I just want to pay homage to a hero. KJ Osborne, running a wide receiver from Minnesota Vikings. There he is.
He risked his life to save somebody else's life. Yeah.
Right.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Absolutely. I don't know if I would have the guts enough to jump in a burning car. I don't know. Well, he's young. He can move faster. He's a football player, so he can move faster. He know how to maneuver. So,
But, they move on instincts. His instincts took over before not realizing what kind of danger he could have been in.
Yeah.
But, you see a burning car, your first thing is to either run or go in and save somebody.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. But he went in the trenches with 3 other guys. And so I just want to congratulate those 3 other guys that were with him too, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So do we catch you back here tomorrow, or?
Yes, tomorrow you'll see me here tomorrow. Yes.
At the regular time?
A regular time.
So that sounds like a plan. I guess we'll be looking forward to seeing you then.
Right. If there's any change at the 23rd hour, you'll get a call. But right now, it looks like I'll be here. Yes.
Good enough. We'll see you then.
Take care, everybody.
All right, take care. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He always comes in at this time every week, and he brings us those on. I love talking sports. I can talk sports for a long time, and love talking with him about it. And he'll be here tomorrow, as you already heard, on the Coffee Hour. We have our show, the Coffee Hour, and he'll be here tomorrow. And he's part of the 2020 feature. He comes on 20 past the hour. And the second part of the 2020 feature, DJ Pete will be here with entertainment news, and he'll be reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. And it's all here. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're going to be with you for the balance of the show at the top of the hour. And with that, we have information, all kinds of information for you. And in case, again, if you want to join us by talking with us, just to say hello, just use your keyboard, type it in, or if you have your cell phone or whatever, you know how you do that, right? You know how to do that, right? And I will see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain you. I'll say hi. And if you want to start a conversation piece of any kind or whatever we were just talking about in sports, we'll oblige you. We'll go right through the show and make it your own. So that's what's happening. So there you go. Yeah. So anyway, we were talking about before we were talking about the Southwest Airlines. Now, we already know right now, Southwest Airlines, they have this meltdown going. Because remember when they had the I don't know, people were waiting for days in the airport, waiting to get a flight. Southwest Airlines was one of the airlines that were the last airlines to get people to their destination. We don't know why that was. I guess it was because of a computer system, an old computer system they had, and they couldn't move because they didn't have the proper equipment. Hopefully they're working on updates as we speak, or maybe they updated that quick. I don't know. But you heard the story that there was when they were getting ready to take off, right? They had to make an emergency landing. Thank God. No one got injured. No one got hurt, because when they took off, I think they were birds. I don't know how that happens. Birds, when they fly around, they get caught up in that in the engine, and that kind of does things to the motor of the engine or whatever, and then the plane starts to smoke, and so they had to make that emergency landing. But the latest story just a couple of days ago in flight. Or just before they took off, thank God, before they took off, there was a fight on the plane. And the fight occurred because of a man who accidentally bumped into another man's wife. And there was a fight. But the whole thing was that happened in the terminal. The thing I couldn't understand, if it happened in the terminal, and I understand he's concerned about his wife, which he should be. I don't know if he didn't apologize to her. Maybe he was angry about that he didn't apologize. I don't know what happened. Anyway, there was a fight on the plane. They waited until they got on the plane to fight. They waited until they got on the plane to fight. And, it's one of the things where people don't want to fly anymore because of these situations, because of the situations of, plane crashes and things like that. We had a little, remember that small plane crash that it wasn't a commercial airline, but it was a plane crash that fell in, I think it was on Long Island. There was a plane crash and it fell in a residential area in Long Island, But anyway, they had that big fight on the plane. And something, the thing is like everyone wants to get to their destination, and they want to get there. I don't know why, if there was a problem in a terminal, why they couldn't fix it there instead of waiting to get on the plane. That's the thing I couldn't talk about. It's just terrible. So Southwest Airlines, and then there was another situation where a guy, some crazy guy, threatened to stab an airline. They don't call them stewardess anymore. They call them they call them attendants, flight attendant. One of the male flight attendants, right? Threatened to stab him with a spoon. I don't know, maybe it was the spoon was broken and he had the rigid edges or whatever it was. I don't know. But thank God they got him off the plane, So I haven't flown in a long time and I'm reluctant to fly. If I don't have to fly just this minute, I don't think I want to fly. I want to cool off from flying for a while until things cool down. It's just so many things happening. It's so crazy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, it's Talk Back Live, and it's time for us to get started right now. So let's talk about what's happening on this day in history. On this day in history in 1864, Ulysses S. Grant is appointed commander of the Union Army. On this day in history in 1922, KJRAM in Seattle, Washington, begins radio transmission. On this day in history, in 1961, the Supremes released singles I Want a Guy and Never Again. On this day in history, in 1981, the 7th People's Choice Awards go to Clint Eastwood, Jane Fonda, and Goldie Hawn for motion picture, and Alan Alda and Carol Burnett for TV. Also in 1981, Dan Rather becomes primary anchorman of CBS TV News. And back in 1987, Chrysler Corporation offers to buy an American Motors Corporation for $1 billion. Back in 1987, U2 released their 5th album, The Joshua Tree, which is a very good album. And it made the Grammy for Best Album in 1988. Also in 1988, actress Audrey Hepburn is appointed UNICEF, that's UNICEF, right? UNICEF. And she was appointed the Special Ambassador, Goodwill Ambassador in 1989. In 1989 also, American Airlines, speaking of airlines, Eastern Airlines files for bankruptcy. In 1993, the 7th Soul Train Award goes to Michael Jackson and Mary J. Blige. In 2015, US President Barack Obama signs an executive order declaring Venezuela a national security threat to the US. In 1918, Mickey Spillane. Mickey Spillane is an American mystery writer. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. He died 2006. In 1921, actor Carl Betts of the Donna Reed Show. He played the father on the Donna Reed Show. He was born on this day in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he died in 1978. In 1926, radio host, TV personality Joe Franklin was born on this day in the Bronx. He died 2015. In 1928, singer Keely Smith was born on this day in Norfolk, Virginia, and she died in 2017. Jazz musician Ornette Coleman was born on this day in 1930, and he was born in Fort Worth, Texas. He died June 11th, 2015 at the age of 85 years old. In 1933, R&B singer Lloyd Price, who was known for the big hit Lordy Miss Claudie, Staggerly, and Personality, was born in Kenner, Louisiana, and he died 2021. In 1936, comedian Marty Ingalls. A lot of you may not remember him. Only people as old as I am may remember him, an actor. It was on a sitcom back in the 60s called I'm Dickens, He's Fenster. And he was born in Brooklyn, New York. Hail to Brooklyn, New York. He passed away 2015. In 1940, actor Raul Julia of the movie version of The Addams Family was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and he died in 1994. In 1945, soul singer Laura Lee, who was big in the disco era, was born in Chicago, Illinois. She's 78 years old today. Happy birthday, Laura Lee. In 1948, soul singer Jeffrey Osborne with a big hit On the Wings of Love. He was born in Providence, Rhode Island. He's 75 years old today. And let's see, 1954, singer Charmaine Silvers of the group The Silvers. Remember them? Big in the 70s. And she was born in Watts, Los Angeles. She's 69 years old today. Happy birthday, Charmaine. 2012, rock and roll legend Jerry Lee Lewis. He weds his cousin's ex-wife, Judith Brown, and they got married in Mississippi, in Natchez, Mississippi. In 1994, actor Fernando Rey, who played in The French Connection, if you remember, that's the guy that they were chasing around. He was like frog number 1, I believe, and he wore that little goatee. Yeah, okay, well, anyway, he passed away from a bladder cancer. He died at the age of 76 years old. And finally, in 1997, rapper, the notorious B.I.G. from Brooklyn, New York, right? Better known as Biggie. He was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles, California. He was only 24 years old. And that's this day in history. And those of you who may know what's happening in this day in history that I didn't mention or I didn't get a hold of, and you happen to know about it, let us know. Type it out there. I'll see right there on the big screen, and I will convey all of that to you. Yes, it is Talkback Live. And of course, I'm Frank Allan with you, and we're going to be here to the top of the hour. We got a few minutes to go in the show. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go there and do it right now, as a matter of fact. And it'll give you the opportunity to know when we come on the air live, or if we post a photo or a video. It'll give you notification right there. And you could be a full-fledged member. You don't need a union card. You don't need anything. You don't even have to spend any money. All you have to do is just click onto that button, and you're in like Flint, and you're one of us. In like Flint. That's what I meant to say. And you're one of us. So, and those of you, the rest of you are watching us on Facebook, please tag your friend, whatever's left of the show right now. We have a few minutes in the show. We have about, another 20 minutes in the show. Take that, tag your friends, right? Tag your friends, tag the show to your friends. They'll come in, whatever's left, and they'll be with us as well. And the rest of you who are watching us on Instagram, please just tell your friends and family and keep following us each week. We're always here for you. Now, those of you, I always mention the fact that if you like to get involved in conversation with us, of course, so we would love for you to do that, because we always love hearing from you. Please, take the time to do that. But if you don't want to, if you want to get in touch with me personally, now I have a way that you can do that. There's a way that you can do that. You can email me or you can call me. Now, let me give you my email address first. Okay, we'll take care, move that out of the way. Email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Or the telephone number you can call at 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. And when you call us, you can leave a message. And if you need us to call you back, specify that. We'll get someone to do that for you. If you have any questions about the show or why we're here, or maybe you have some kind of information that you would like to convey to the show, or maybe even suggestions on what to implement into the show. We listen to you. Just give us a call. And you can do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You can email us or call us. I'll give you that email address once again. It's frankallanprod@aol.com. That's Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. A-L-L-A-N, prod is P-R-O-D, that's short for productions. frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Not too far away, I'm going to give you all of those movies that we always talk about, those movies that you like so much. Movies, those selective movies that I have for you from Turner Classic Movies. They're all classics, and they're all for you. So there you go. As I mentioned, it's been a busy day in news today. And here's the latest thing that we got almost 3 hours ago. It came down the pike, and probably you heard the information by now, but we're into the show right now. It's almost 3 hours away when we got this news. It came down from the New York Times. Prosecutors signal crime charges for Trump. I said his name, and the reason why I said his name is because I'm reading this. I'm reading this, all right? And this is from the New York Times, and I'm not going to take anything from the New York Times, so I'm going to read it as is. Prosecutors signal criminal charges for Trump is likely. Now, they don't use that word likely too lightly. All right, it's likely. The Manhattan District Attorney Office recently signed the Donald J. Trump lawyers that he could face criminal charges for his role in the payment of hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels. Porn star Stormy Daniels. You know, see, it doesn't take much to do that, right? Anyway, the strongest indication yet, and the prosecutors are nearing the indictment. They're getting closer and closer to the indictment of the former president, according to the four people with knowledge of the matter. The former president was told that he could appear before a Manhattan grand jury next week, as early as Monday, as a matter of fact, if he wishes to testify. So he has a chance to redeem himself and correct the errors of his ways. I don't know, that's going to take a lot of doing. But anyway, I put that information out there because, you know, the dam is starting to break. He's getting closer and closer. Chickens coming home to roost. Now, we talked about this a long time ago, about all of the things that are happening. Now, this is just a New York thing. This is just a thing that about the money that he accepted or that he paid off to Stormy Daniels. Now, there are more things coming. You got the insurrection thing coming and all the other things, all the other slew of charges against him. But this is the first one that they're working on. And it seems like when they say the word likely, it's more likely. Now, I wouldn't bring, for those of you who are glorifying this or getting a laugh out of this, I'm really not. I'm just relaying all of this stuff for you. But those of you who are doing, don't break out the champagne yet, because Yogi Berra once said, it's not over till it's over. Now, they're just saying it's likely that this will happen. Nothing happened yet, and we're going to have to wait to see how it happens. You're going to have to stay tuned for the news and catch more because the news just keep coming in. But this is what it is right now. And I don't know how you people are reacting to it. I'm pretty sure his followers are not happy with this situation. And there are other people who are listening who are ecstatic about it, which by the way, I'm not ecstatic about anything in this matter. You know, that wouldn't be right for me to do that. But, you know, but I can say this, it's been a long time coming and they're just waiting. They researched everything from top to bottom very easily, very, very carefully. And so this is what it comes down to now. And I must say, I've said it and I can say this, you know, with everything that was going around all of these years, with all of these things, a lot of people are echoing and saying the same thing everybody else is saying. Why hasn't he been in jail a long time ago? You know, if it were someone else, if it were Barack Obama, if it were you, if it were I, no question about it, we would have been buried 6 feet underground. And a cell waiting for us, underground, you know. But they want to give him his due process, and he's entitled to that, of course. And so, and here's an opportunity for him to make a trip to New York City because he knows where New York City is. It's not like he doesn't know where it is. He knows where New York City is. Come to Manhattan, and if you'd like to testify, they're giving him an opportunity to do that, which of course that's the thing to do. You know, you give the person an opportunity, and then they're going to have to make their decision after that. But I just have a feeling that he won't do that, you know. But he did respond. I heard that he did respond to that. And of course, the response is like all responses that he do, it's all a witch hunt. So we'll have to see what, but that's the biggest news. That's the news of the day. That's the top of the news all day. And there's so many other things too. When we talked about earlier as Fox News, you heard about Fox News. Fox News is, oh boy. And Dominion calls for Fox News to tell the truth at this particular point, because you know the whole story right now at this time is that people like Laura Ingraham and Tucker. You know, if I had just gone on, I would have been right anyway. Tucker Carlson, you know, they all went out and made this whole big lie, but behind the scenes, they've been texting each other and saying, you know, and of course the news came out and he says he hates Donald Trump with a passion. You know, I can't take this anymore. I hate him with a passion. And the people who are all saying this about him and talking about his attorney, Sidney Powell. And Sidney Powell, who they say is a kook, is a crazy, is a nut, you know, which I kind of agree. because if a woman comes out and says something, oh, I've been talking to the wind, I've been talking to ghost, that's a little, I don't know. But anyway, so, I'm kind of wondering, all of the people who are Fox or Rabbit Fox News people who love that TV station, how do you? I kind of wonder how they feel about it now. Maybe they're saying, oh, it's a witch hunt. It's fake news and all of that. I don't see anything fake about this because he already came out and said it. Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, and all of these people were talking behind this guy's back. They hate this guy. They hate 345/66 Beast Incarnate. They hate him. He admitted it. I hate him with a passion. That's what he said. And in the meantime, he's lying to the public. Lori Ingram, which I'll never forget her when she said to LeBron James, shut up and dribble. But that's another show. That's something that Brian would handle if he ever wants to do, sports. If he does it tomorrow, fine. I let him talk about that tomorrow. But in the meantime, she's her and all of the other so-called hosts of Fox News. And Rupert Murdoch, I don't know if he says too much about it. He doesn't say too much about it because this man is in the business of making money. And the reason why they're doing all of this is because they don't want to piss off their listeners, their viewers. I don't know where the sponsors stand in all of this. No one said anything. If they pulled out of it, I don't know if the sponsor said anything about that. But I got to tell you something. If Fox News ever go under, right now I don't see that happening, but if they ever go under in the near future or the distant future, where are these people going to go? There's no place for these MAGA Republicans to go. There's no place for them to go other than these other small time print news media for the conservatives. I could see that, but Fox News is like their baby, But if that ever happens, I don't even know why they're on the air at this particular point, because something. Where I come from, TV is supposed to be a public trust. Where I come from, and back in the old days of old TV, when TV came out on the scene, and everybody watched the news, and you sat with your parents, sitting on the floor watching the news, watching on that black and white TV with the rabbit ear antenna. And you believed everything they told you because they came out and told you the truth. The news, you believed everything they told you. But when you get a entity, and I've never lived to see anything like this in my life, I never thought that the medium would come to this. And these people, they're crazy. They're liars. They're crazy. And so now it's, I don't know. If you ask me, I think it's just, they're just too far gone. They're at a point of no return, but Dominion, who is by the voting system, they're urging Fox News to come back and tell the truth. In other words, whatever you said behind closed doors, come out and say it on the news, because the people may not believe it unless you come out live and say it. The people who are watching Tucker Carlson, and Laura Ingram, and the rest of these guys on Fox News, they believe them. They actually believe them. So they believed everything they said. They believed every lie that they told. They believe them. So maybe if they find the guts and find the grit and come out and say, yeah, well, we lied. We hate Donald Trump. He's an idiot, and Sidney Powell, she's crazy because she likes to talk to the wind and she likes to talk to ghosts and things like that. So everybody's lying. And even Jenna Ellis is one of 345/666 Beast Incarnate, one of his attorneys. And she got on the air and said, oh, she spread the lie, and she spread the lie. She said, yeah, it was a hoax. It was a lie. It was 345/666 Beast Incarnate won by a landslide, which is, of course, a lie. And now the word is out that she admitted that she lied. She admitted that she lied. I don't know, guys, what is it going to take? What is it going to take for anyone to believe that when they stormed the Capitol that day, and that fateful day, January 6th, what is it going to take for people to actually believe it's right there? It was right there. It's in video. Videos don't lie. Sound bites don't lie. You know, it's all there. It's right there in black and white, or in color even. And you watch it and it tells you, it shows you. And they say, and when all of that was going on, even 345/666 Beast Incarnate said, there was no insurrection. Did you hear him? He said there was no insurrection. It was a hoax. People were going there peacefully. In the meantime, they're breaking down windows. They killed people. Oh, nobody killed anyone. People got killed. People got injured. The police, they got injured. One died the following day due to, I believe, a stroke or something like that. That I'm pretty sure that had something to do with the insurrection as well. You know, things happen, you know, physically, you know. But no, it wasn't. There was no insurrection. You know, it was like a tourist thing. People, it was like tourists, people being friendly and they're coming on. What does it take? And you actually believe that. You see it, but you don't see it. You know, I'm going to say this to you guys. You know, in about less than 2 years, we're going to be voting for the presidency. Now, whether Joe Biden wins it or not, if Joe Biden doesn't win, then it's going to be someone else. All right. And with this thing going on, I think things are kind of change with 345/66 Beast Incarnate. I think a little change is going to come there as far as him running, but we're going to have to see what happens with that. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow on the coffee hour, because it's just endless thoughts. And if you want to get involved in that conversation along with me, please, you know, I'll be glad to talk to you about it. That's what this is all about. It's a free forum and open exchange. But we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got those movies I was telling you about, those movies that you love so much, those Turner Classic Movies, and we've got them all for you for the weekend. My picks for the weekend. So let's get started with it right now. Let's go back to 1955, Rebel Without a Cause, starring James Dean, Natalie Wood, and Sal Mineo. That's on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Right there on Turner Classic Movies. It's a great movie. Forbidden Planet from 1956, starring Leslie Nielsen and Walter Pidgeon and Anne Francis. That's on Turner Classic Movies, but that's on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you like musicals, here's a good one. From 1936, Swing Time with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. That's on Turner Classic Movies, also on Saturday. You can catch that at 8 p.m. That's 8:30 a.m. I'm sorry, 8:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. Now that Forbidden Planet, I'm gonna have to double check on that because I have this at 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, we'll have to check that out. We'll see. Okay, and Music Man, another musical, Music Man. This goes back to 1962, Robert Preston and Shirley Jones. And that's on Turner Classic Movies as well. You can catch that Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. On Turner Classic Movies. West Side Story, once again, it's worth watching, 1961 with Richard Baymer and Natalie Wood. Turner Classic Movies, that's Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, and that's coming your way too. Here's another one from 1967, Dirty Dozen, starring Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, even Jim Brown, former football player, is in it. And that's Saturday at 10 p.m. on Turner Classic Movies. 10 p.m. Eastern. Then you have finally From Here to Eternity from 1953 with Burt Lancaster, Montgomery Clift, and Deborah Kerr and Frank Sinatra's in it. That's on Sunday on Turner Classic Movies at 11:15 p.m. I think you should check these movies out. I think you'll like them. Now, that's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we'll do the coffee hour. Brian Kemp will be with me with the 2020 feature. He'll come on 20 after with sports, and 20 to the hour. DJ Pete will be here with entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. And of course, I hope that you'll be here too. Other than that, I'll be back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Kemp with me with sports, and we're going to do it all over again. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the evening, morning, good afternoon, and pleasant good night to each and every one of you. God bless.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.